feel like you're dying in long-haul travel flights, dying of boredom, dying of hunger, dying of back pain, or you're just wishing to survive your next long-haul flight, don't worry, you're not alone. In this video, I'm going to be covering the 16 tips that we use to survive long-haul travel in economy class. Close. Long-haul flights can last anywhere between 7 hours to a whole day. I would definitely not suggest wearing something restrictive or tight-fitting. I'd prefer to wear something loose, something comfortable, and definitely layers, because the temperature in the airplanes can fluctuate between being very hot or very cold. It's best to be prepared for both. So definitely bring a lightweight jacket or a hoodie with you just in case it cools down, but obviously a thinner shirt underneath just so you can take off your hoodie if it gets hot. But for me, I generally like to be even more comfortable and take my shoes off. Don't worry, I've washed them, but if you haven't, please don't. I do keep my socks on, so it keeps my toes warm and comfy. Toilets. Let's be honest, no one likes an airplane toilet. They're small, cramped, claustrophobic, and definitely overused. That is why we always make sure we go to the toilet before we board. Because once you've boarded, you either have to make your way through a mass sea of people to get to the toilet, or if you cannot, you'll have to wait till we have taken off and the seatbelt signs have been turned off. I don't know if you can even wait that long. Otherwise, I've found when the lights have been dimmed and everyone's still sleeping, the toilets are less crowded. So I'd suggest you go, even if you don't feel like you need it. Boarding. Did you know there's a debate on when to board the plane? Hold up, let me give you my opinion on this. Board first if you have a lot of carry-on luggage, because there'll be ample of overhead bin space. You won't be long queues for you to find your seats, or alternatively, there won't be someone who accidentally sitting in your space. Board last if you have 0 to minimal carry-on luggage, because then you won't need overhead bin space. You know who you are, the guys who are taking all that space. Also, you'll be able to keep walking to the back of the plane, so you get a great vantage point to see where all the empty seats are. You can maybe even claim yourself a whole row. And let's not forget, you'll be on the plane for less time before takeoff, so less waiting time. Doesn't matter which one suits you best. Those are my recommendations between the two. Snacks. To bring snacks or not to bring snacks? That is the question. If you have dietary restrictions, I highly recommend you bring your own snacks. If not, I don't really deem it necessary. Nick and I always go to eat at the lounge prior to every one of our flights, so we don't get the munchies until our in-flight meals arrive. Also, most airlines offer snacks while you're on the air, but this is all dependent on each airline as well as where you're flying to. From our experience, we've learned that Emirates generally offers sandwiches, Singapore Airlines, cup of noodles, Cathay Pacific offers popcorn and chips, and my favorite, which is Qatar, they offer biscuits, cookies, and chips. So don't be shy to ask for your snacks whenever you're feeling the munchies. Food. If none of these snacks are satisfying to you, you can get your food first. How? Easy. Before checking in online 48 hours before your flight, they actually allow you to choose special request meal based off your dietary needs. And these are lacto-ovo vegetarian, vegan, kosher, halal, gluten-free, diabetic, low sodium, low fat, low cholesterol, nut-free, or lactose-free meals. All these meals are served first. So whether you've got a dietary restriction or you just want to feel special and get served first, you can opt for any one of these meals. Hydration. Do you ever feel very thirsty while you're on the plane? This is because of the cabin pressure and the recirculation of air that lowers the humidity in the plane. To stay hydrated, we highly recommend that you bring an empty bottle with you through security and then fill it up once you've passed security. Therefore, you'll have a full bottle of water with you as soon as you board the plane to avoid dehydration, as well as you would never have to keep asking the air hostess to refill that tiny little cup that they give you of water. That's almost finished in one sip. Another way to stay hydrated is to avoid caffeine and alcohol, as these can further dehydrate you. Avoid getting sick. When going on vacation, no one plans on getting sick, But did you know 1 in 5 people who travel on planes get a cold or flu after the flight? This elevated risk is due to the dry air, close proximity to people, plus the recirculation of air in the cabin. That is why we always make sure to take our multivitamins, our vitamin C, and our omega-3 every time before we take a flight. I know, not everyone believes in taking vitamins, but I personally believe prevention is better than cure. Pain relief. I don't know if it's just me, but when I sit in the same position for an extended period of time, I seem to get lower back pain. So what I've learned is, instead of putting the pillow behind your head, is to put it behind your lower back. That creates lumbar support. So therefore, I'm no longer in pain. Entertainment. I know I'm releasing my age a bit, but did you know, in the late 1900s, airlines used to release movies before they were released globally? That used to make me so excited, but unfortunately, due to piracy, they no longer do that. So now, to keep ourselves entertained, since all the movies seemed last year, we now download everything off Netflix, YouTube, or even a podcast onto our phones to enjoy. But how do we watch them off our phones? Isn't that a little bit uncomfortable holding it the whole time? Yeah, so that's why we do this. We place the vomit bag in the phone cover and use the table tray latch to hold it up. Alternatively, I've heard of people using plastic packets like this to watch. But hey, they work. Either one, it's up to you. Noise cancelling headsets. So I can be fully immersed in whatever I'm watching. I always carry my AirPods with me. Not only can I block out everyone around me, it's also great if I'm wanting to sleep, because it can block out that droning sound of the airplane. Eye masks. Talking about sleep, I can honestly sleep just about anywhere. Thanks to my small demeanor, I can comfortably sleep cuddled up on 2 seats of an airplane. But let me clarify, the best sleep that I have ever got on a plane was recently on a flight. We received an amenity bag that included an eye mask. For the first time ever, I had slept with an eye mask, and that was the best thing that has ever happened to me. I cannot tell you what a true game changer this thing is when you're trying to sleep. Definitely recommend it. Seatbelt. After you've finally drifted off to sleep, make sure you put your seatbelt over your blanket. It's the worst thing to be woken up by a flight attendant during a little bit of turbulence to find out you had your seatbelt on the whole time, but they just couldn't see it because it was underneath your blanket. So let's not get your sleep disrupted, and let's make sure we put our seatbelts over the blanket. Necessities. Preparation is key to anything in life. Flying is no exception. So rather be prepared before you board the flight. What I do is I generally pack my essentials in my handbag, being a pen, my eye mask, my motion sickness pills, my AirPod, and my phone. So therefore it's easy to access right underneath my seats. Then I won't have the inconvenience of having to go to my carry-on luggage in the big overhead bins to try grab anything that I require. Being organized makes sure that the travel's a lot more smoother and definitely more comfortable. Purchase seats. I know of a few people that paid to pre-purchase their seats when they purchased their tickets for a small fee. Don't waste your money on this. Rather, wait till your 48-hour check-in prior to departure online and you can select these seats for free. Seat type. I know, we're all fighting for the window seats or the aisle seats, but have you ever thought about the middle seats? No, not this one, these ones. Generally, long-haul flights have a 3-4-3 seating arrangement. Windows generally give you a place to lean your head on so you get better seats, but you kind of have to squeeze through 2 people to go to the toilet. And if you've got an aisle seat, that's got the best leg room, but then you have to let 2 people squeeze past you to go to the bathroom. This is what I suggest. Nick would sit here and I would sit here. If we're lucky, we generally get a full row to ourselves. Or if someone takes the other aisle seats, we get 3 seats for ourselves. Or if the plane is fully booked, the worst comes to worst, we asked the person sitting next to Nick to swap seats with us. Why do we have to go through all this trouble? So no one will ever ask us to go to the bathroom. They'll just go through the other side. Win-win for us. Seat location. There are so many choices, being the window, the middle, the aisle. I've got one more for you. What about the front, the middle, and the back of the plane? Well, I'm not really going to talk too much about the front because that's business and first class, but we're all in economy. The middle class is great because it's the most stable when there's any turbulence in the plane, but that's the most crowded area. And then you've got the back of the plane, which generally has more open available seating. And if you're like us, who like the last row at the back of the plane, you're firstly close to the toilet, and secondly, you can recline your seats all the way back without feeling bad of inconveniencing the person behind you. Those are my 16 tips that we use to survive any long-haul flight. If you like them, please subscribe and leave a thumbs up. And if you're not sure what to pack for your trip, you can watch this video over here on 9 things that we no longer pack for our one-bag carry-on.